Uh, so yeah. Okay, so today I will I will talk sometime. Then I will leave for the question and answer session. So in case if you have some questions, then you can ask later. So yes, now at the day 6, at the day 6 at the state of the Pardo, day 6, you can see that the day 6 that all the 5 Buddhas will appear all together. Before up till the day 5, the 5 Buddhas will appear one after another. Now here from the day 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 6, all the 5 Buddhas will appear all together. So what I mean by the together is that the person at the day 5, they will see all the 5 Buddhas all one time, all together the one time. So that time what will happen is that at that time when you see all the 5 Buddhas, all together, then the person will have the visions of the 5 different lights all together. Before they will see the 5 different Buddhas one after another, on the day 6, the person who are born in the Pardo will have the visions of the 5 Buddhas all together and 5 different lights. So 5 different lights that all together. So it's a more or less it will be like the same as before, that you should not get attracted toward the light which is not that intense, and you shouldn't get more attract, or you should follow the light which is more, I mean, the intense. So now from the day 7, so 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 that will be on the day 7. Now the person or now the Parto being at that time, what will happen is that that time at the day 7, now what the visions that the Parto beings will have is a totally different. Now they that on the state of the Parto, on the day 7, he or she will not have a vision of the single Buddha. Now, day 7, the Parthu beings will have a vision of the separate deity. Separate deity means not a one. Several of the deities he will have that vision at the day 7. So that time, that on the day 7, so that the day 7, they will be the several of the deities, and that may be, it will be much easier if you can check the image in the Google. So you may see the deities, all the deities which comes at the day 7, when the Pardo beings could not elaborate themselves up till the day 7. So now here the important thing is that person who are born in the Pardo state, still that the person can liberate themselves. So what is the way of the liberating self when you are born in the Pardo state? So there are the few ways of the liberating the self when you are born in the Pardo state. The first state is that the realize that whatever you are saying is not inherently existed, which is not existed, which just what you are seeing and what you are feeling and what you are hearing in the state of the Pardo. It's all the mental projection, which is you're projected from your own mind, or which is imputed by your own mind, more like a mental projection to realizing it's a mental projection and the not truly exists. This is the one best way to liberating the self in the state of the Pardo. It's like in the dream state, when you are having a nightmare, when you realize that what you are saying is not a truly exist, it just like only exists in the state of the dream, or realizing that you are dreaming, then you will not have the nightmare. Even you might be having the nightmare, you will not get scared. You may enjoy. Now, the second thing is that when you're born in the state of the Pardo, the liberating the self is second thing is that to generating the faith or generating the devotions toward the 3 jewels, towards the Buddha, and you just motivating to get to self to go towards the Buddha's the pure land, motivating the self to go to the Buddha's pure land. Then you will have a mission in the state of the Pardo. Normally, in the state of the Pardo, they will feel completely lost. They have no proper mission or proper motivation to do the right things in the state of the Pardo. So that's why what the what the Pardo means, or what you have to do in the state of the Pardo, is that you have to generate the proper motivation or intention to go towards Buddha's pure land. That is the second way of the liberating the self in the state of the Pardo. Third way, it's what is mentioned in here. So what I tell the last, the few days, that following the light, which is a very intense one, not following the light, which is not intense, just following the light, which is very intense and very strong. That is the third state. Now, here that what we have to do is that in this the week, now what you can do, you can practice that or learning the process of the death, or experience the process of death. It's quite similar that when we fall asleep. So when you go to the bed, try to observe, try to see your thought process. First, before when you lay your head on the bed, you may see the lot of the thoughts come. Then slowly when you fall asleep, then the less thought will appear. Then that moment we say that the consciousness will become more and more subtle. Or maybe you can say first your conscious state, then you will become a semi-conscious state, then you will become a very unconscious state. You just look the all the process. You can see that from the conscious state, from being semi-conscious, then the unconscious. You can just see that the so when you fall asleep, that is exactly the same process. Exactly, it's more like the same process to how we die at the death process. First, we will have from the conscious state for semi-conscious, then unconscious. From the Vajrayana term, we'll say that from Vajrayana term, we say the gross consciousness, and then it will transform into the subtle consciousness. So this week, what you can do is when you go to the bed, you will look into the, when you go to the bed, you will just see that how the change this state from the conscious state to the semi-conscious state and then unconscious state. When you reach at the unconscious state, we say that time the some of the very subtle consciousness will activate, or the subtle consciousness started to get function. So it is the very difficult to realize that subtle consciousness. But if you succeed, then you can use that subtle consciousness to meditate or practice, or then, yeah, but it is not that easy. But if you practice, then you can realize or recognize that subtle consciousness when you fall asleep. Normally, when we fall asleep, we will become totally unconscious. Totally unconscious, and we will not realize what is happening. But when you meditate, it's very possible that you can realize that the subtle, the consciousness, even when you fall asleep, even when you become a very unconscious, but that's a very possible to realize that subtle consciousness. So yeah, if you have any question, you can write. Okay, if you have any question, you can write, or you can ask. Okay, you can ask if you have any questions. Sorry, if you have any questions, then you can ask. Okay. Okay, so that's the thing. So this week, what will I suggest you is that what will I suggest you that this week, that what you can practice is that just when you fall asleep, just look that how the state changes of the state from the conscious state for the semi-conscious, then the unconscious state. Okay, just you can look into that. Okay, that is the one thing. Now the second thing is that this week, what you can practice is that just when you, before going to the bed, you have to motivate the self and tell that you're dying. Okay, actually you are not dying at all, you are not dying, but it will help to accept the death, and it will help you the courage to transform that state into the more joyful state later on. Okay, so it is just like a practice. You have to practice that when you're going to bed, you just have to meditate or think that you're dying. Okay, think that you're dying, and just see that how the feelings or what kind of the emotions comes. Sometimes might the emotion come is like that, get the fear might come. I don't think I don't think that you will scare that much, but still you might get a little bit of the scare and the fear might come, or maybe you might very attached towards maybe your family or your place or whatever it may comes. So that time you have to meditate and think that when I'm done, I will not get attached to anything. Also, I will not get scared. I will accept whatever happens, accept it. Okay, that you have to think that way. Okay, that is the one thing. And the second thing, when you are falling asleep, and then you have to motivate yourself that in your state of the pardo, when you see this the old type of things, or the ones who have the very scary experience state of the pardo, I will recognize or I will realize the old experience, all the things what I see in the pardo state, it's not a truly existed. Okay, that have to motivate and think that you will recognize, you will in the state of the pardo is a thing is not a truly existed. Okay, that you have to. So this week, okay, this week what you do is that, okay, you just this week when you're going to the bed, just think that you meditate that you're dying. Okay, then see. Okay, then see what kind of the emotions and the feelings it comes. Okay, just think that you're dying, and whenever the fear come, try to overcome that fear. Okay, think that I'm dying, and I have no use of the getting scared. When you're getting attached, when you think that now there's no use of getting the attachment to it, I will accept the death. I will die peacefully. Okay, this week you have to, that is for the practice. Okay, so it will help a lot to help you when you think that way. It will help you a lot to overcome the fears. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, do you have any questions? If you have any question, you can raise. Okay, if you don't have, then we'll stop. Yeah. Okay. Okay, then if you have any question, so today we'll stop. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.